All right, so this morning we are going to be finishing our seed meditation. And so we are going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and find a nice tall spine. And again, for this meditation, you can have your eyes closed or open, whichever is more comfortable for you. If they're open, just gently gaze towards the floor and see if you can soften your gaze. And then just for a moment here, just see if you can take notice of the body, especially if you're just waking up or haven't quite made a lot of movement in your day. Just take notice if there's any spot that just feels a little tired, maybe hasn't fully come into itself yet. And just take a moment to pause there, just noticing maybe what's causing that feeling in the body. Or maybe it's just an acknowledgement of there's tiredness or there's achiness. It's just communication the body's giving you of something that you can just pay attention to. And then just take a full scan of the body, starting with the feet. See if you can wiggle your toes, maybe roll your ankles a few times. And if it's comfortable, maybe take your fingertips and lightly tap up the shin bone into the knees. And then up the thigh towards your hip joints, and maybe just gently around the fleshy part outside the hips. And notice here if maybe there's some tenderness. And then just place your hands around your hips and maybe rock a little bit here from side to side. See if you can even out the weight between both sits bones. And then notice the next breath in. See if you can really fill your belly with air. And as you exhale, notice if the belly and the hips can just soften a little more towards the floor. And if you want to stay with tapping here, you can gently tap up the rib cage or just follow the breath now. It's really up to you. And if you're tapping, come up towards the armpits and just gently tap outside the armpits in this little lymphatic system here. And maybe gently tap in towards your heart and around the collarbones, starting to wake the body up. And if you're following your breath instead of tapping here, just really see if you can feel the sensation in each part of the torso. And then coming out to the shoulders, maybe take your hands and gently push down the shoulder towards the hand, just rubbing a little more vigorously down the right arm and then down the left arm. And gently wiggle your fingers, maybe roll your wrists. And then place your hands wherever is comfortable and soften your shoulders. And release your jaw. And then just start to notice the breath as it comes in through the nose, all the way down towards the belly. And feel the breath as it exits the body, coming up from the belly, through the chest, out through the nostrils. And just stay here for a few moments, just sensing the breath. And just noticing if your exhales this morning are a little shorter. And there's nothing you need to change. All you need to do is just notice. And maybe as you pay attention to the breath, you start to notice that it naturally starts to shift, where the exhale becomes just a little bit longer. And then gently coming back to sensing the body as the breath comes in and out. Just see if you can observe the sensation of the breath, really allowing yourself to feel what the inhale is like as it fills the whole body, and how the body responds on the exhale. And as we're finishing our month of our transformation with springtime coming, just see if you can remember where your seed is planted. Again, let's bring our hands together. We're going to rub them just for a few moments, generating a little bit of heat. And then gently place both hands over the spot where your seed has been planted. Maybe you feel a little bit of heat from the hands. Maybe you feel a gentle pulsation, just energy moving from the hands into wherever your seed is. And just think back on this last week. How did your seed show up for you? What did it start to look like as it started to transform from the seed into the stalk with no form yet, just starting to really grow and take some roots? Did it feel a certain way for you? Did a situation look different? Or did you come to an acknowledgement with just something you've been thinking through or hoping for? Maybe just a sense of greater awareness. And now, with your hands still around the seed, just start to take a few deep breaths, really putting your energy right where that space is, and imagining it expanding under the hands as you inhale. And as you exhale, imagine the energy of the hands really pushing life giving energy back into the seed. And as you inhale, the seed starts to grow and expand a little bit more. And as you exhale, the hands gently press life giving energy back down. And now, staying with your breath, start to just watch the seed as it starts to grow into its full transformation. And what has it become? Just allow itself to reveal to you what your seed has grown into. And maybe it's not a plant or a tree of any kind. Maybe it's something completely different. But for these next few breaths, just sit with whatever your seed looks like now in its fullest form. And maybe for a moment, you just sit with wonder at what it's become. Recognizing the process of transformation over the last few weeks. to really allow this seed to manifest into what it was meant to be, into what you are meant to be. And as your seed is now fully transformed, start to imagine all the colors of the rainbow permeating and filling the space within the transformed seed and around it. And imagine the color red as it fills the seed with this grounding energy for the roots to stay steady and strong. And imagine this color of orange where the seed feels powerful in its own right and stable with the creativity and energy it brings. And the yellow as it penetrates the seed, filling it with joy and a sense of wonder. And then the seed absorbs the color green, knowing that it's secure in its place and able to speak its truth. And then the color blue, where the seed has knowledge of what the transformation means for you. And then a bright white permeates and fills the space around the seed, around whatever is transformed, giving it a sense of peace now that it's arrived to be who it's meant to be. And just stay here with this image of this beautiful rainbow colored, light filled, transformed image of whatever your seed has become. Just notice how it makes you feel. And this transformation of the seed, it has a message for you. Just pause and see what it has to say. And take whatever came to mind as your intention or your mantra for this week. And keeping this image of what your seed has become. If you notice it in your natural day-to-day life at any point, just pause. Remind yourself of the message that it has to tell you and give it gratitude for showing up. And know that whatever the seed is transformed into is just the beginning of a greater transformation within you. Keep coming back to this image of whatever your seed is and is transformed into. Anytime you need a reminder of something bigger and greater than you. And then leaving the seed right where it is, go ahead and take your hands back down to your legs or wherever is comfortable, and gently bow your chin to your chest, giving a nod of gratitude for this moment and for taking the time to truly be with what is transforming within you. Let's all take a deep breath in. Deep breath out through the mouth. And one more time, deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. I thank you so much for being on this journey with me this month. Have a beautiful rest of your day and a wonderful week. And namaste.